Today, I want to show you how to create a Power BI dashboard. So if you open up Power BI for desktop, you'll be able to get data from a lot of different sources. If you're new, let's start with importing something from Excel. So I have a list of account reconciliations and their status, so we can make a dashboard about that. We'll select the sheet that has all of that data and we'll click the load button. Power BI will take in this data. It'll tell me there's some errors. It's just a formatting thing with this Excel spreadsheet. So we'll continue. There is this pane off to the left. So this is the report view. This is where we'll actually create the dashboard. Similar to Excel, we can add pages or I guess tabs or workbooks is how they would look in Excel, but it works the same way. This is the report view. Over here is the actual data. So this is the Excel file that I loaded. And then this is the relationship or model view. And it only comes into play when you have multiple tables with shared keys. So we won't discuss that here, but just wanted to let you know it does exist. So let's say that I wanted to make a dashboard for an executive presentation of monthly account reconciliation status. So the first thing I can do is I can go to insert and I can put in a text box and give this a title. So I'll say monthly account reconciliation status. And we'll make this bigger. We'll take it to font size 44. Run it out here. We'll resize this text box. And I like to have a black background and everything in white text. So I'm going to set the text here to white. Click out, it'll show nothing. So I'll click in this box out here, the text box I just inserted. Formatting screen, or this formatting pane here. So there's a filters pane, a formatting, and a data. The data has all of the columns from that Excel file we dropped in. We'll just kind of scroll through this formatting, position, title, effects, background. There we go. So we'll make the background black. And now there's my title. So, like I said, I have account reconciliation. I want to show two charts. I want to show this gauge or speed dial chart to show how many recs are completed and how many are still left. You know, what percentage complete am I basically? And then I want to show a waterfall chart by country to show which countries have the most uncompleted or open tasks. So I'll start with this gauge chart. I'm going to have it span the page, use all the available space, and this is really easy to resize. So when it comes in, and obviously these are all in the visualization tab here, like I've been pointing over there. It comes in, it doesn't know, which one of these fields do you want as the value, the maximum value. So for the maximum value in the data, I've got an account of basically how many reconciliations are there. So that'll be the maximum value. And then what I want is to show, let's say there's 10,000 and 9,000 are complete. I want to show 9,000 and 1,000 open. But right now, all I have is an open count. I don't have a completed count. So I need to add that to my source data. So if I go to the data, scroll all the way to the right, you can see here I got a count, and it's just one for every reconciliation. And then I have an open. And if I filter for just the ones, in here there's a status. Right here. So these ones are all with repair, with reviewer. And then all of the ones that are 0 for the open count are closed. So basically what I need to do is to get it completed, I would take the count minus the open, and that would tell me if it's completed. So table tools, new column. I'll have to know a little bit of programming. It's pretty simple. This will be the only coding type thing we'll do. It just gives me this generic column. That'll be what the column is actually called. So I want to call that completed count, equal sign. And basically I want to take this count column and subtract this open count column. So I have to first give it the data source name. So it'll be this sheet 1, and then open the bracket, and then I want to take that count column right there. So you can see it's found it. So I'll select that, space, minus, space, and then I'll just have to do the same thing. So name of the data source is sheet 1, open bracket. I want to subtract off this open count. So I'll start typing, it'll find it, automatically close the bracket for me, and then I can just press the enter key and it will go through and say, hey, this one's not open, so it must be completed. And then when it finds one that is open, this will be a 1, so it'll be 1 minus 1 equals 0. So this will give me a completed count. Just to check it, I'll take a look at the zeros. I should see that these are all 1s. And vice versa. If I filter only for 1s here, I should have all 0s here. So that is working well. I come back here, I should have this completed count, and I do. And that's what I want the value to be. And then boom, it'll shoot out. But you see it's grouped things up and it's rounded to thousands. And you can see there's most of them are done. And if I hover over, I can get the actual number, 10,119. But I can't get how many there actually are. So also, obviously, I want to make this black and the text white. So we'll go in to this visualization section, or this formatting section, the one with the paintbrush. The gauge axis, I'm just kind of looking for the thing. So the fill color, I can change that if I want to, but I mean, that's a nice color. Data labels. I think I should make these white because I'm going to make this background black again. And here it is, display units. And it grouped it in that auto, and then it went to thousands. So I want to say none. And if I just put this back just so you can see it, now I can actually see the number there. So that's how I change that. Target label, just make it white if we ever use it. The call out value, that'll be the number in the center here. Make it white, it'll go away, but again, I'll just show you display units auto. We take it to none, it gives me the actual number. Make it white. And then if we go to the general section here, you can see I still need to make, I shouldn't be able to see any text, so I still need to find that and make that white. That'll be in the title section. So we'll make it white, and there'll be a background. We'll make it black. That's just the background of the header of the title. So subtitle, I don't have a divider, spacing, so come into effects. There's my background for the rest of the pane. So boom, now I got a nice looking radar gauge there. So now I want to add that waterfall chart that I mentioned and break it down by country. So I'll take up the rest of the report here. I want to bring in country as the category. And then I want to bring in only the open count as the y-axis. So now you can see, I can quickly identify Switzerland is the country with the most open. And if I click on Switzerland, something that makes this so powerful is that's going to affect this other chart here. So that's something we can't do in Excel. But I'll keep formatting here. So I'll make those same changes. I want to make everything white text with a black background. So I'll start to make some things disappear. I like to do it in this order so that I should see no text before I make the backgrounds black. That's my personal preference. Just keep going through and getting rid of that text. By making it white, the legend, we need to make that white too. Here we go. And then in the title, we need to make, oh, that'll be on the general section actually. So we'll go to the general section, title. We'll make the text white. Now you can see I've got no text. The only colors are the actual data points or data intersections. So now I can make my background black. That'll just be for the title. And then I'll come into the effects and make that black as well. And looks really good. Let's say maybe I want to look at this regionally. How can I do it? There's something called, and you can see I left a little section here. So this icon here is a slicer, and it is really powerful. So we'll add a slicer, we'll move it over into this one little section we squirreled away. We'll resize it so it fits in just right. And we want to be able to filter this by region. So maybe I want to look at just EMEA or North America or APAC. So it comes in as a selectable box if you go again to the paintbrush, the formatting sections, options, right, it defaults to a vertical list. You can make it a drop down. Let's say, okay, well, I only care about Latin America. Boom. I've got just Latin America. I can see there's 7 outstanding, and I can see all 7 of those are in Colombia. If I want to know how many does Colombia have, well, they have 124, and they got 7 left. What about Argentina? They got 94, and they did all 94. So you can see we can play around very nicely with this. So I'm going to format this in the same way I formatted everything else. So we'll make that text white on the header. We'll make the border white. Background, we'll go ahead and make it black. Values, you'll make white. border's already white. The background we can make black. Now we go to the general section. Effects, black. So LATAM's doing good. Maybe I want to look at Germany. Oh, well, they're 100% done. Let's look at EMEA. Well, that's where I can see they've got that bucket there. NOAM, they got 2 left, both in the USA. APAC's totally done. So EMEA is where I want to focus. Again, like, very powerful. So let's say I really see, obviously, that Switzerland's the biggest issue. I can right click on that bar. I can show data point as a table, give me that underlying data. I can export that data to Excel. So very powerful, and I hope this gives you a good overview of how to get started creating dashboards in Power BI.